Tullow Oil has announced an end to restructuring of its operations, which saw the firm embark on some massive layoffs and freeze on dividend payments. Now, the move, which was necessitated by dwindling crude prices, forced the firm to also embark on several cost-cutting measures, which ensured even resulted in some Ghanaian workers with the firm being sent home. However, there are fears that with the company recently hit with COVID-19 shocks, there could be another round of layoffs. But Visiting Group Chief Executive Rahul Dir insists his outfit has dealt with the challenge. He has been speaking about this, among other issues, during his recent visit to Ghana.
I think there are two things. So I think the short answer is kind of yes, but I think this business, I think we're very excited about the potential we have in front of us. I think I look at today as if it's a completely fresh start. So it's like I just said to you, George, we just discovered 2.6 billion barrels of oil, and somehow magically, I don't know how, nature, God, whoever you believe in, put all this infrastructure in place. So in that sense, yes, I think it's to me, it's very, very exciting. I think it's also humbling because we are dealing with nature, we are dealing with very complex technology, very complex engineering. So we cannot be complacent. And every day, we always talk about this. I'm an engineer. We always talk about this. Every day requires attention. Every day requires resilience. Every day requires a continuous focus, right? So I don't think that we will ever, I would say to you, if we're sitting here a year from now, I would say to you, George, we could declare victory. So I think we have excitement. I think it's a new phase. I think there is a tremendous opportunity. I think we've built a good foundation, but we're not complacent. We cannot be.
So as I asked you earlier on, so if there will be any shutdown, this will be normal routine maintenance because of the kind of work that you've done over the period.
Yeah, so I think that the shutdowns that happen, right, is if you have either structural issues, right, which go back to kind of like the TRP thing was a design flaw, right, or it's the absence of regular maintenance, or it's the absence of work on integrity. So I think the team have focused a lot on clearing a tremendous large backlog of maintenance, integrity things, and all of that stuff. So as a consequence of that, the more work that you do, which is regular, the less unexpected shutdowns you have. So today, I would say we're in a much better place than we were even last year. And going forward, the goal is very much, it'll never be, you always aim for perfection. It's never quite perfect. But like, if you have a 98% uptime, that's just to give you a sense, George, we are planning for about a 95% uptime. That's the kind of more expected run rate. So you'll have some issues. You need to plan for those. But for the most part, I think through discipline, this is what I was saying to you earlier, that you need to pay attention on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, on your operations. And that's the culture we're building, that's the mindset we're developing in Tullow.
Do I get the commitment from you that, as we speak now, in terms of the restructuring of the group and even the Ghana operations, you brought that to an end, or, well, it's early days yet, it's work in progress?
No, I think that I've been here 11 months. I had a roadmap for myself when I first joined, where it was sort of like you had a house on fire. So somebody said, look, what is your mission? I said, well, put the fire out, right? So so I think the fire is out. I think the fire is out. I think we are in a stable position. I think we will continuously, as hopefully you get to know me better, I'm always restless. I was saying, how is tomorrow better than today, right? So we'll keep doing that. But that's a very deliberate thing. That's not crisis-driven. That's not, you're not knee-jerking on that. So I think when you're in a stable place, you're calm, you're taking balanced decisions. So I think today, as we are, I think we're in that place. And I think we will strive for continuous improvement. That's going to be our culture. But the sort of big things, I think that's sort of, my plan, which I'd set out, I think that's...
Will we see any further layoffs again?
Hopefully not. Look, for a leader, I think it's the most painful thing if you care for people, because, a lot of the stuff happened before I came, but I certainly kind of inherited a lot of that process. and it sort of breaks your heart because it's a personal thing, and I have historically done this rule that every person I will talk to in previous companies, I'll talk to them myself, because it's a human thing, and so as a good manager, you say, look, can I make my business resilient so that we can provide an enduring career to people, we can provide people stability, because it's people's lives, right? So, look, it's not something that you come to very lightly. I've been through, like I said, many cycles. I've learned my lessons. So I think we'd like to make the business resilient so that when there is another downturn, we don't have to do that. But look, this is the effort.
So nobody should see you as a Hajat man coming in.
No, I don't think anybody has kind of said that. I think it was more. Look, this was the third company I'm running, George. I mean, my first two were businesses that we built from the ground up. So I'm more of a person who builds rather than cuts. So I feel like the last year has been challenging because we've had to do a lot of difficult things, but now I feel like I'm in a place where I'm happier.
Well, that's an interview there with the Tullow Group CEO, with George Rafi.